a new framework for the theory of everything and Grand Unified Theory. Today we aim to resolve many long-standing questions in physics and cosmology. This includes offering a comprehensive explanation of the theory of everything and its unification with the Grand Unified Theory, GRBs. To begin, we contend that Einstein's equation, E equals sine mc2, represents only a partial explanation of reality. We propose that the complete equation should include a term for space, Sc² equals sine E equals sine mxc2. Once fully understood, this equation could provide a complete and unified explanation for both the theory of everything and the Grand Unification Theory. E equals Sc² is missing a crucial piece, and when you add it back in, it explains everything from UFO propulsion to the real structure of the universe. For over a century, we've accepted Einstein's famous equation as gospel. But what if I told you that E equals Sc² represents only a partial explanation of reality? What if the complete equation should actually include a term for space itself? What if the true equation is S times c² equals E equals m times c²? This isn't just academic speculation. Once we understand this complete equation, it provides a unified explanation for both the theory of everything and the Grand Unified Theory that has eluded physicists for decades. The mainstream tells us the universe began with a Big Bang, one singular explosive moment that created everything. But this model has serious problems. How do we explain the remarkable uniformity of the universe if everything expanded from a single point? Why don't we see the expected variations and irregularities? Instead of one Big Bang, what if the universe emerged through something far more dynamic, a process I call the Big Cascade? Picture this. Rather than one singularity, the universe emerges from a vast number of primordial seed singularities, what we might call yin and yang seeds, interacting within the proto-cosmos. When these seeds collide, they unfurl and trigger localized expansions, generating distinct regions of space. This isn't the explosive expansion we've been taught. It's an unfolding that produces pockets of space specific to each region. And here's the crucial point. Beyond these regions lies vacuum, which is fundamentally different from space itself. Space, in this revolutionary framework, comes in two distinct flavors, each with 7 different types or colors. Yin space is contractive and passive, while yang space is expansive and active. Over time, yin space contracts and forms dense structures, while yang space expands and spreads out. Like oil and water, yin and yang space eventually separate and coalesce into larger regions. When one such region encounters another in the cosmos, they merge, leading to further expansion of the universe. This cascading of spatial bubbles explains the observed uniformity of the universe without requiring a single point of origin. Instead of one central bang, we have multiple expanding regions coalescing, which is why the universe appears homogeneous in all directions. This theory also explains one of the most mysterious phenomena in the universe, gamma-ray bursts. These are some of the most energetic events we observe, releasing more energy in seconds than our sun will produce in its entire lifetime. The mainstream struggles to explain them adequately. But in our model, gamma-ray bursts occur when yin and yang seedlets make contact, causing them to unfurl energetically. The newly formed spatial regions then come into contact with our own space. The massive energy wave at the perimeter of these newly expanding regions manifests as the gamma-ray bursts we detect when they encounter our coalesced region of space. This brings us to perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of this theory, the formation of matter itself. As yin space, the contractive type, accumulates, it forms what mainstream science has misidentified as dark matter. These constrictive regions ultimately coalesce into supermassive black holes. But here's where it gets really interesting. Matter, primarily hydrogen, forms as a vortex at the boundary where contractive yin and expansive yang spaces meet. Over time, this hydrogen coalesces and evolves into stars and heavier elements through stellar life cycles. This completely reframes our understanding of supermassive black holes. Contrary to current belief that they only consume matter, our model suggests they actually generate matter, especially hydrogen, at their perimeters. The older a galaxy becomes, the more complex it grows, supporting the idea that black holes produce, rather than destroy, the structure and complexity of galaxies. We need to fundamentally reimagine matter itself. Rather than being composed of solid particles, matter is a vortex-like interaction between yin and yang, spatial flows spiraling into a continuous vortex. This vortex, continuously pulling space inward, is what we perceive as atomic structure. If this spiral were to cease, matter itself would cease to exist. This model redefines gravity, not as Einstein's bending of space-time, but as the consumption of space. Inertia becomes the energy required for atomic structures to realign with the ambient flow of space. Even electricity takes on new meaning. Electron flow as current arises from space being induced to form electrons and flow from the point of production, rather than electrons merely being pushed along. Magnetism becomes the realigning of space flows through atomic vortices in certain elements, creating rotational flows of space that we experience as magnetic fields. Now we're getting to the technologies that could change everything. In over-unity or so-called free energy devices, space is induced to form electrons and subsequently current. Researchers have observed that such devices operate more efficiently when specific frequencies are introduced, each frequency correlating with a specific flavor of yin or yang space. This suggests there are indeed 7 colors or types of each of the 2 flavors of space, just as our theory predicts. Anti-gravity becomes the reverse process, space being emitted from energy, cancelling gravitational pull and enabling levitation. When done with proper vectoring, it creates directional control. This forms the theoretical basis for technologies like UFO propulsion systems or the mysterious German flying bell from World War II. The complete equation, S times C² equals E equals M times C², integrates space and energy as equivalent and proportional to matter. Within this framework, we can redefine all 4 fundamental forces. Gravity is the consumption of space. The strong nuclear force is the vortex-forming matter at the interface of yin and yang space. The weak nuclear force is radiation resulting from transformations within atomic vortices. And electromagnetism is the induced creation and flow of energy through space. This single model accounts for phenomena that have puzzled scientists for decades. Dark matter, dark energy, gamma-ray bursts, galaxy formation, inertia, magnetism, and even levitation. It provides a coherent and comprehensive explanation for both the Grand Unified Theory and the theory of everything that physicists have been seeking. More importantly, it clarifies the origin and interrelation of fundamental forces and cosmological structures in a way that reconciles current observational inconsistencies. It suggests a completely new path forward for physics and cosmology, one that doesn't require exotic particles, multiple dimensions, or mathematical abstractions that can never be tested. The implications are staggering. If this theory is correct, we're not just looking at a new understanding of the universe, we're looking at technologies that could revolutionize human civilization. Free energy, anti-gravity propulsion, and a complete understanding of the cosmos itself. The question isn't whether mainstream science will accept this theory, it's whether we're ready for the world it would create. Because once we truly understand that space itself is the missing piece in Einstein's equation, everything changes. The universe isn't just stranger than we imagine. It's more magnificent and more accessible than we ever dared to dream.